Hello everybody, what is up? How you guys doing today? Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, depending on when you're watching this video. My name is Justin, also known as 738, which is my Xbox Live gamertag. And today, you see here, if you look, we are playing some Destiny. Now, I figured I would start off by giving my impressions or first reviews, my opinions of the game. I know there are much more out there, hundreds of videos on YouTube about this game, some being good, others being bad, but since I'm a very opinionated person and I always like to talk, I figured I might as well give my concept or my view of the game. Regardless of whether you watch it or not, it's up to you. If you want to and stay, hear my thoughts, then thank you. I greatly appreciate it. If you don't, feel free to click off the video. It doesn't bother me. I want everyone to enjoy my videos, but if you're not, then obviously don't play. But I figured I might as well start a new class and talk about it. Talk about the class and my opinions. So let's get started. Let's start this bad boy. And if you look here in a second, once the content verifies, I am playing, or I played as a hunter, and now I'm gonna switch over to a warlock because of Blink and the fact that magic. Who doesn't want to use magic at their fingertips? You get the cool little Star Wars Force push, and you get the awesome melee that comes with it, or the awesome melee animation. But overall, as we are, see, 738. So I played as a hunter, and overall, I don't really care for it. I thought it would suit my playstyle better, but so far it hasn't. So hopefully we'll have better luck with the warlock. But if you see here, there are 3 classes, of course. Now I'm not going to review this completely, but basically, Titan's the tank, Hunter's agile, Blade, killer, hunter, and the warlock is the magic slash, I guess, sorcerer or sage class, and that's what I'm going to be. Now if you look here, I am the hunter, and I chose as the blade dancer, and a lot of people say it's OP. I know people who are, or Goglove and his friends say, I'm sure many other people say it's OP. I personally have not found it to be that good, and the gunslinger is something that I wasn't really intentionally going for. I wanted the blade dancer, partially because of the blade dancer being blue, and blue is my favorite color, so it was a little bit of an influence on my decision on the subclass. They see here, the striker's blue, defender's purple. They have the color schemes or themes of orange, blue, and purple, but the gunslinger here is orange and blue, and then the void walker, which is a really cool purple, and everything is purple. But the importance of the colors is that everything highlights, so every grenade or every type of ability is always going to be themed around those colors. So in case you were wondering, or you're somewhat interested at all in that, that is why those colors are there, I guess, which isn't really important, just something I noted that I like to talk about since I'm a very analytical person. But here we are going to choose as the Woken, and they are marked by the cosmos, and your ancestors took shelter in deep space, also known as the Reef, pretty much, as you'll see later in the game if you have played the story of it, which I will probably talk about in another video, go more in detail about. I may not, 100% sure, but let's choose a proper face. I'm gonna choose that here since that actually looks nice, and let's go with the blonde. No. Where is it? Going for a blonde look, I guess that will have to do. Let's see, skin color. It's more of a bluish. Eye color. Yeah, that'd be more of a deep blue. And then let's change that. Yeah, unfortunately the character creation isn't too in depth, but it's enough to get started and really enjoy your character, Fortunately for the females, there's somewhat of a longer hair, since the rest are pretty short, or really weird like this. This doesn't really look right on a female or warlock female. but of course you can do whatever you want. Let's just do this real quick. Let's change that to black. Let's see, it's one that brings out the eyes and the face. So here you see all the different faces and everything. Some of them, you know, of course, have different features. All of them have features, different features such as the lips or nose. And let's go with that. That seems pretty good. I'm trying to see because the hair color is a little annoying to me. Well, yeah, you know what, I'll go with that. That color does not resemble all blonde, but we'll go with that since it is. And yeah, you know what, I think we're actually good. Let's try one more thing. And then what I plan on doing is skipping the cutscene. Not that really matters, particularly because I'm sure you guys have seen it, but just to get into the action and really talk about my impressions. I'm not going to be talking over a cutscene with Peter Dinklebot at all. But yeah, I'll see you guys after the cutscene.
Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian.
It worked. You're alive. You don't know how long I've been looking for you. I'm a ghost. Actually, now I'm your ghost. And you, well, you've been dead a long time. So you're gonna see a lot of things you won't understand. This is fallen territory. We aren't safe here. I have to get you to the city. Hold still. Don't worry, I'm still with you. We need to move. Fast. We won't survive long.
Okay, so we are back in the world of Destiny in old Russia, specifically in the Cosmodrome. Now this is Destiny. Now I'm sure you're familiar with this if you've seen the beta or anything that has been presented at like E3 for instance, or I'm sure like PAX. But yeah, look at those crows fly away. I'm assuming they're crows. But yeah, so let's just jump right into it. I'll just be mainly talking about my impressions or opinions, my views, and if I have time I'll talk about YouTube, what I plan to do in the future with my YouTube channel, but that we probably won't have enough time because I'm only going to cover this in the first mission, and the first mission is only about like 10 or 12 minutes, so we'll see how quick we can get this done. But yeah, so a lot of people have said many things about Destiny, some being good, some being bad. I've read or watched a lot of reviews, IGN, GameSpot. I've seen the reviews on like Metacritic and other review sites, and a lot of it has been mixed, of course. People who have said anything early have probably not liked it, you know, myself included with my expectations, but then we, you know, start to dissect the game, or not necessarily dissect, but play it a bit more, understand it. I guess you become,
I'll see what I can do.
you accept it, because you have no choice really. But, let's see him light up the whole place. Ooh, look at all those guys. Those guys are going to come running at us. But, yeah. Now, people are saying this feels like Halo. People who are saying this feels like Borderlands, you are correct. However, and this is probably a game that many of you guys have not played, but if you are, or have, and you know, watching this video, I congratulate you, since it's not as common. But, Star Wars Tour. For those who don't know, Star Wars, The Old Republic, that is an MMO. And that game is very much like this, with in certain ways with the MMO aspects of it. But in terms specifically with Star Wars Tour, there are elements that game did right that should have been represented in this game. Ooh, look at that. That's cool. Force push. That's nice. Cool animation. But there are certain aspects of that game that definitely they should have taken from BioWare. BioWare people who developed it, such as, for instance, you know, having the ability to have a chat, or, you know, a general chat, say, yell, trading, guild chat, stuff like that, because the communication here is extremely just utterly garbage. And that might sound like an overstatement, but it's true. I'm not gonna lie. I've not met one person that has communicated. And if you have not initially started a fire team and plan to play on this game, you are screwed. You really are. Now, part of the problem could be the fact that this is cross-platform. So you're playing this on the 360, the PS3, PS4, and Xbox One. But when you look at a game like this, that's a MMO oriented, and in a sense even, or even partially like that, there needs to be communication, and there just isn't, unfortunately, because there's so many few people playing this. You gotta get the shotgun because a lot of people choose a sniper, or a lot of times you end up getting the sniper instead, which is very inconvenient and useless in this particular area.
Don't touch them.
But the game is just communication. It sucks, and that's a major key factor. And that, you know, take that with a grain of salt too, because like I said, an Xbox One, I'm sure it's completely different, and the PS4 even, since the PS4 don't have a huge shooter like they do in the upcoming months with Halo, Call of Duty, even though Call of Duty's cross. It still makes my point. There's more people that are going to be playing this on the PS4 side of things, or the PS side of things, than the Xbox. Now you also have the story, and that is a big problem, to say the least. It's really just not as good as you would expect it to be, especially when I compare this and have high standards. When I played an MMO such as Star Wars, which had great stories and different classes, you know, they had 8 classes total that mirrored, or 4 that mirrored each side, each faction, being the Republic and the old Empire, Sith Empire. You know, it's like when you have something to compare it to, this game really feels like a letdown. But at the same time, ooh, I got some distance on that, the blast radius. But at the same time, it's like there are no. The story itself is mediocre at best, and that's really bad. I mean, that's why this game has gotten such low scores, like a 6 from GameSpot. It's because of that, you know, the story. And where this game does feel polished, it's not. It feels like it's missing stuff. It really does. A lot of things, a lot of MMO aspects or RPG aspects, elements of it. And that's a shame because this game is good and it's so hyped, but at the same time, the hype has caused it to be, you know, caused it to have such a big downfall with reviewers and people in general. Now, if you're playing with this friend, you know, playing with friends, it's much more enjoyable. But like I said, on the 360, there aren't many people to play as, and the graphics themselves aren't that good. If you were to compare this, for instance, with Gears of War 3, I would say, in my opinion, the Gears of War 3 graphics are better, and that shouldn't be the case when that game came out 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. And oh, look at all these guys, and it's, I don't know, as I play this game more, I become more lenient, like I said, with it, because it is something that you're forced to play with, and it is made to be a trilogy. You know, they have said that. It's not just a game that's thrown out there out of nowhere. People are playing this. You know, the developers have said that this game will last 10 years, or should be able to last. And it should, with the replayability of a MMO. You know, because that's what MMOs are. You know, they were constantly updated all the time. Star Wars: The Old Republic is constantly getting updated. Now, I probably should branch off of Star Wars, since I have been talking about it a lot, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have not been playing it, but I believe we should upgrade real quick. But, Halo, yes, it definitely does feel like that. With the AI, it, very, very much you can relate to the elites with the Fallen, the Cabal, the Cabal, with the Brutes, having the shields like the Jackals. Very much of their ideas for this game and how the AI work are all just used and recycled, I guess you could say, from Halo, which isn't a bad thing, but you gotta realize it's 10 years old. This isn't a new AI system, and it's a shame, but it's a good thing. You know, forgot to say it's a shame. It's fun. The AI isn't game breaking like it was with me, and the story.
There's a ship.
But since we're at the end of this already, damn. So we've gone over the AI, the graphics, the story, the PvE. This is the biggest problem with this game. Even the story. Story and the PvE aspects are the loot system. That is a problem. The PvP is where people say they don't enjoy it or it's unbalanced. I disagree. I enjoy it the most. It's my favorite thing about this game. So don't act like I'm just hating on this game, you know, in all aspects of it, in all areas, because it's not a bad game. It's just not what the hype lived up to, and it, you know, it's deceiving. But the PvP is very fun. I enjoy it. You play a bunch of different classes. You really get a feel for which classes suit your playstyle. In terms of PvE, it's enjoyable. It's fun exploring because it's new, but I feel like that is only because of it's the first iteration. So you're seeing Venus for the first time. You're seeing Mars. You're seeing all these different places, and it's interesting. You know, it's new. It's fun. It's different. You get to explore, and that's fun. And the loot system. Now, this is something it's just common sense that frustrates me, and that Star Wars Tour even did somewhat better. When you have a loot system, you reward the consumer, and this is the same, I guess, with business. You reward the consumer. You make them feel like they're getting something. That's why when you have a small item in a box, it's half of it is plastic that's inside protecting it, because you want to feel like you're getting something. Psychologically, that's how it works, and that's how I feel like they should have done it with the loot. Because you can't just show blue cubes in a chest. There needs to be loot that you get through the enemies that you kill as well. You know, you can't just have heavy ammo. Even for the bosses, you know, you end up getting heavy ammo, or special weapon ammo, and it's like, you know, it feels like a bit of a letdown when you feed the sponging bosses, at least for the strikes. The rate I heard is a lot better. But in terms of, you know, loot, I feel like they should have done it differently. But it's not the end of the world. You know, the game is a grinding game, so it's fun. Constantly getting stuff in multiple ways. And
Come back for them when you're
in
ready.
terms of gear, real quick, the gear it's interesting, it's cool, it's different, of course. But you know, what else will we see in the next iteration of the game? I hope they diversify it a little bit. I hope the exotic gear is quite different. That they release expansions, if they do release exotic gear. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. Sorry for rushing the end, but I do hope you guys somewhat enjoyed my thoughts or my opinions. As far as, you know, the overall game, I would give it probably a 6 or 7 out of 10, and that is a shame for one of the most anticipated games of the year. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna go and give this a 10 just because one aspect was much more fun. Because overall, the whole package, even if it is an MMO with the story. And I've heard that MMOs generally have weak stories, like this game. You know, it just needs to make up. And with the story too, one last thing, sorry guys, for not condensing and consolidating my thoughts. With the story, most of that stuff you have to access, the codex and stuff, through the Grimoire, I believe it's pronounced Grimoire, cards on Bungie.net. And there has to be a panel, something that we can access that. And I feel like if they just polished it, you know, worked on it a little bit more, the expansions, hopefully this game will be good. But other than that, that is my general opinions, my thoughts, my views. And I do hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay itself, even though it is just the first level. But overall, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.